I never imagined that I will learn anything from someone as controversial as Donald Trump. But I was wrong. Watching him over the years has questioned me, my existence, my perspective, and how I approach life. In this video, I'll share 3 powerful lessons that I have learned from Donald Trump and how you can utilize in your life as well. Before we get into the video, let me introduce myself first. Hey, I'm Vivek. No, not Ramaswamy, even though we might look similar. I'm Vivek Rezmi. I was born and raised in Nepal and I moved here when I was 18. A typical migrant, if you will. Let me be clear first. Politics never really fascinated me. Every time when it came on a TV, I used to tune out, whether it was home politics or US politics. But everything changed one day when I saw Trump on the TV. I think it was 2016 presidential debate between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. I was fascinated by the whole debate. Not by the substance, but by the charisma of both candidates, especially Donald Trump. Since then, I've been watching Trump for the last 10 years. And I can say this with certainty as well, that Trump is one of those people who have made a lasting impact in my life. But I need to make this disclaimer. This video is not going to be about politics. And I'm not going to talk about his policies or his character. Now you might be thinking, why Trump though, who has so many flaws? Yes, he may have flaws. Yes, he may have imperfections. Yes, he may have limitations. But so does everybody else. Are we gonna rule his brilliance out just because he has some flaws? I see life as a constant improvement and learning, often from other people's mistake. Just as we learn from our imperfect parents as a kid, we should try to learn from everybody else when we're adult. This video exactly highlights that unique characteristics that Trump brings in this world. So whether you are Republican or you are Democrats, whether you are American or European, whether you like Trump or not, this video is important for everybody, because you get to see the side of Trump that might have been neglected or missed. And most importantly, we get to learn from his mistakes. So please tune in until the end. Alright, let's get it started with the first lesson that I learned from Donald Trump. The power of boldness. First, do you want to know what power of boldness can bring in your life? What can it truly achieve in your life? Let me tell you this, it has the ability to make you the most powerful person in the world. You don't believe me? Mr. Trump will disagree with you. Trump is a living proof of why being bold might be the most important recipe for success. Let me tell you my story. Few years back, I used to be shy and timid. You know, one of those, never sure of anything. Always questioning every decision in my life. Never had confidence to speak my mind. I felt like one of those pawns on the chessboard of life. For some reason, if I disappeared from the face of the earth tomorrow, nobody would have really cared. Nobody would have bat an eye. And the world would have just carried on. Thinking about it now, it was kind of fair. Why would anybody respect me? Why would anybody care enough about my opinion? If I didn't trust myself, if I didn't have enough confidence in myself, if I didn't have enough belief in myself, why would anybody else believe in me? I used to sit there for hours thinking, what am I doing wrong with my life? How can I be more confident? How can I be bold? Trump helped me realize that. Before I explain how he did that, let's look at the video from a recent interview from Say's Style Show. What Congressman Wesley Hunt has to say about Trump's boldness. This is his interaction with Taliban. Here you go.
When we were negotiating with the Taliban, while President Trump was still the president, President Trump wanted to get out of Afghanistan, but he wanted a conditions-based withdrawal. meaning that you do what we tell you to do, and then we will start pulling troops back slowly as long as you abide by our rules. It's President Trump and Mike Pompeo, and they are talking to Taliban leadership in the room, and they had one translator. President Trump looked at the Taliban leader and said this: "I want to leave Afghanistan, but it's going to be a conditions-based withdrawal." And translator translated. And he said, "If you harm a hair on a single American, I'm going to kill you." And the translator goes, and Trump goes,
Tell him what I said.
Tell him what I said. Reached in his pocket, pulled out a satellite photo of the leader of the Taliban's home and handed it to him.
Shut up.
Got up and walked out the room.
Sure did.
Do you know for 18 months not a single American was killed in Afghanistan?
Sure did.
That's the definition of strength.
As you saw, his approach to challenges like this has taught me that sometimes you have to be bold in life. Life is not always roses and rainbows all the time. It is tough, and sometimes you have to make tough decisions. One of the other prime example is his decision even to run for presidency in 2016. He defied every conventional expectation that president is supposed to be. Despite having no prior political experience, he showed to the world that if you have enough courage, if you are willing to stand out in the face of mediocrity, if you are willing to be uncomfortable, if you are willing to sacrifice everything, if you are willing to speak your mind loud enough, then people will listen. Not just hear, people will actually listen to your ideas, they will listen to your opinions. Boldness intimidates people, and everybody likes the bold. Another prime example of his boldness is his slogan to make NATO members pay 2% of their GDP, and his promise to build wall along the southern border. He knew that it will alienate a lot of people, but he was willing to take that risk and make a strong stance on controversial issues when nobody else was willing to talk about. That says something about him. Just like Trump, be very bold in your actions. If you hesitate even before doing anything, your doubts will undermine your efforts. When you act, when you are speaking, have so much of confidence in yourself that people will start to question their own decisions, their own reality, their own actions, rather than questioning yours. It doesn't matter whether you are right or not. And if you do make mistakes, there's an easy solution to that. Correct them with even more boldness. Intimidate people with your audacity so that they don't have choice other than just to follow you. This will bring unprecedented amount of power in your life. Alright, let's get into lesson number 2. Resilience in adversity. There is no better example of resilience in the face of adversity than President Trump. It is truly inspiring. Trump has not only faced criticisms and setbacks his whole life, but every single time he has come back stronger and better to take down his challenges. From the brink of bankruptcy to the constant criticism from the media, Trump's story is a testament on how resilient his determination is. One of the most recent example is 2020 US election. After losing against Joe Biden, everybody thought that Trump's political fate was sealed. Everybody thought that he would never be seen in US politics, let alone run for 2024 presidential election. But if history is any indication, it was very naive of us to think that Trump was done for. 3 years later, he has bounced back. He has bounced back stronger than ever before, better than ever before, bigger than ever before. Not only he's a nominee for Republican Party, he's almost guaranteed to win 2024 presidential election at this point. I personally think Trump's story is one of the classic American movies. His story teaches us the power of not giving up. There will be times when people will doubt you, when people will write you off, when people will expect your defeat, when they will celebrate your failures, when they will do anything to make you irrelevant. That is a time. That is a time to believe in yourself, to pick yourself up and ready to fight. But remember, if you try to get back up, they will try even harder. They will do everything in their power to keep you from getting up. That is a point, that is a time to show them. There is a time to prove them that your determination to get back up is bigger than anything they could do. That's what Trump did. That's what you should do if you want to prove your point. Alright, after second point, let's get into the third one. The third lesson I learned from Trump was his strategic vision. In the world where people's attention span and vision are almost negligible, where people only care about what's in front of them, Trump presents this sigh of relief for those who has ability to wait patiently for success. I'll let Barbara from Shark Tank explain one of the story of Trump when he was in real estate. Here you go.
Switching gears for a moment, you knew Donald Trump way back in his New York real estate days.
What a charmer.
And, despite, whatever you say about him, even you say he's a great salesman. What is his sales technique? Why is he so great?
He is a phenomenal salesman. He's not a great salesman. He's probably the best salesman I've ever been in the company of. And I spent a lot of time with Donald because he's 5 years older than me, I think 4 years, and he was raising his company right at parallel with me raising mine. And so I did a lot of work with Donald. And I can tell you, he is the best salesman I've ever met in my life. I watched him walk into a situation, for example, selling the Plaza Hotel to the Chinese out of Hong Kong, it was in Taiwan, group of Asians, wealthiest families in Hong Kong. And they were there because they were interested in the Plaza Hotel. And I was the broker, or my brokers we were all at the table, and we were like really hungry to make this deal. And I watched him totally not pitch the Plaza Hotel, bury it, and talk about the land masses on the Hudson River and the buildings that would be there. They were not the least bit interested. They just wanted to buy the Plaza Hotel. Like a customer, I want to buy it, and Donald was near bankruptcy, really needed the money to bail out. And I watched him, I thought he was so off. He wasn't. They bought the land and built all those towers on the West River as we know it today. All those Trump towers along the river. That was the deal. How did he do that? I'll tell you what his masterful mind does.
Thank you, Barbara, but I'll take it from here. Let me tell you this. It's not just real estate. Even Trump's 2016 presidential campaign was a strategic masterpiece. His focus was on just winning the key swing states and appealing to those marginalized voters with the clear and targeted message. He knew how the electoral college worked in the United States and how to take best advantage of it. With this strategy, even though he lost popular vote, he still managed to become the president of the United States. This just reiterates that he's not just an outsider who got lucky, but he's a mastermind. His vision, his ideas, his ability to plan long-term and execute complex strategies has been a significant factor in his success. Each step he takes has been carefully curated with the precision and almost the accuracy of a needle. This lesson has taught me the importance of strategic planning and long-term vision. For example, when I started my own YouTube channel, I wasn't focused on immediate results. My priority was to provide the best value to the viewers, just like yourself, without expecting anything in return. That's why I'm working and developing long-term strategy and setting clear goals for my growth. It could be 10 years before I see any result. During this time, it is important to trust myself and keep pushing to achieve my goals and my vision. I know that 10 years is a long time, There will be times when I want to give up, when my victory seems impossible, when my demons inside me pushes me out, when my heart cries in exhaustion, when I feel alone, when every door locks. That is a time to remember, why did I start it in first place? What was the first reason that made me take the first step? That is the time to remember, as long as I continue, I keep progressing, I keep evolving, I keep winning until that ultimate success. Trump has taught me invaluable lessons in boldness, resilience, and strategic vision. These lessons has not only shaped my personal growth, but empowered me to pursue my ambitions fearlessly. Remember, embracing lessons from unexpected sources can lead to incredible personal growth. Before I finish this video, I want to leave with one question. What lessons have you learned from unexpected mentors in your life? Have a think about it, and can you please share in your comment? I want to know. And when you are there, can you please also subscribe to the channel? Your support means world to me. Until next week, stay strategic and keep learning. See ya.